All right, let's dive into his story today. We're heading to the village of Ramgar, a place that seems ordinary enough, but it's hiding a pretty terrifying secret, one that's all tied up in the roots of an ancient cursed tree.
So picture this. The village elder, Shamlao, gives this bone-chilling warning. And it's not just an old saying, it's a belief that has the entire community completely paralyzed with fear. And that fear? Well, that's where our mystery really begins.
I mean, talk about a split personality. During the day, Ramgar is alive. You got kids laughing, people working, it's vibrant. But the second the sun starts to set, it's like a switch flips. The streets are deserted, every single door is bolted shut, a thick blanket of fear just descends on the place, all because of that one peepal tree looming just outside the village.
But this kind of deep-seated fear, it's bound to be challenged eventually. And that challenge comes from two young women, Anamika and Swara, who've just returned home to Ramgar after being away for their studies.
See, what makes Anamika and Swara so different is their perspective. They've been educated in the city, and they come back with this healthy dose of skepticism. They're naturally curious, and they just can't bring themselves to accept that an entire village should live in terror of some old legend. They feel like there has to be a real answer, and they're determined to find it.
And then things get weird.
Their curiosity gets a major push when Anamika starts having this incredibly vivid, recurring dream. It's an old man, he's in chains, and he's begging her for help. But here's the truly strange part. Swara starts having the exact same dream. Not a similar dream, the very same dream. And that's when they know, okay, this can't be a coincidence.
So what do you do with that? They're facing this huge question. The village elder, he just brushes it off, says, it's only a dream. But for Anamika and Swara, it feels like so much more. It feels real, like a desperate warning that something is seriously wrong. And they decide they just can't ignore it anymore.
So armed with nothing but a single torch, they do the one thing nobody, and I mean nobody, in the village has dared to do for generations. As dusk falls, they walk right up to that cursed tree. And sure enough, hidden there among the twisted, gnarled roots, they find it. A dark, gaping tunnel leading straight down into the earth.
Because what's down in that tunnel? Well, it's about to flip everything they thought they knew about the village's fear completely upside down.
So they go deeper, and there he is, the old man from the dream, chained up, weeping. It's all just as they saw. But just as they move to free him, this mysterious woman dressed in black robes, a mantrika, just appears from the shadows, shouting this frantic warning at them.
And you can just feel their confusion here, right? They've got two totally opposite stories. On one hand, there's the desperate old man from their vision. They think, okay, he's obviously the victim, which must mean this mantrika is some evil sorceress keeping him prisoner. But she's telling them the exact opposite, that she's the protector and the old man is actually a powerful demon who has completely tricked them.
Well, they don't listen to her. They rush to help the old man. A struggle breaks out, and in all the chaos, the mantrika's glowing power gem falls to the ground and shatters. In that instant, the chains binding the old man just break apart, and he transforms. His eyes glow a terrifying red, fangs sprout from his mouth, and his body twists into this monstrous form. He's free.
And in that single moment of horror, the truth comes crashing down. The mantrika wasn't a villain at all. She was the chosen vessel of the village goddess, Mata Chandi. Her entire purpose, her whole life, was to keep that very demon imprisoned. And the girls, with the best of intentions, have just unleashed an absolute catastrophe. So how on earth did this happen? Where did this demon even come from? To understand the true nature of this curse, we gotta go way back. Turns out, this creature wasn't always a demon. He was once a powerful sorcerer, the protector of Ramgar. But his power went to his head. It filled him with this incredible ego, this hunger for more. He became so arrogant that he actually challenged the village's divine protector, the goddess Mata Chandi herself. Of course, he lost. And as punishment for his hubris, she cursed him, twisting his spirit into this demonic form and trapping him beneath the tree forever. So now the demon is loose, a full moon is on its way, which is the only time he can escape the cave, and things are looking pretty bleak. But that night, the girls have another shared dream, and this time it's the real deal. The true goddess, Mata Chandi, appears to them, not to punish them for their mistake, but to give them a way to fix it. And this divine intervention? Well,
It sets the stage for one heck of a final, desperate battle to save the entire village.
The plan Mata Chandi gives them is this incredibly specific and very dangerous ritual. But she gives them a crucial warning. She tells them the demon's greatest weapon isn't his strength. It's his ability to get inside their heads and attack their minds with their deepest fears. They cannot falter, not for a second. So, the night of the full moon arrives. Anamika, Swara, and the Mantrika head into the cave and begin the ritual. And just as they start, the demon appears in his full, terrifying power, roaring that they can't stop him. The cave starts to shake. The air just crackles with dark energy. He's doing everything he can to break their focus.
But they hold strong. Their voices stay united in the sacred chants. And as they complete that very last step, pouring the mixture of their blood and the sacred fire onto the tree's roots, a brilliant light just engulfs the demon. He lets out one final, agonizing scream, and his monstrous body just dissolves into a pile of ash.
But the story doesn't just end with the monster being destroyed. It ends with resolution and one final, pretty amazing revelation. From that pile of ash, a calm, translucent spirit emerges. It's the soul of the original sorcerer, finally free from the demonic curse he brought upon himself, and he looks at the girls not with anger, but with pure gratitude. He tells them that his own ego had been his prison, and their courage has, at long last, given his soul peace.
And then comes the final twist. The Mantrika, the guardian, begins to glow with this divine light, and she reveals her true form. She wasn't just a vessel or a servant. She was Mata Chandi all along, disguised in a human body to guard that prison, waiting for someone with enough courage and faith to finally break the curse for good.
You see, when you boil it all down, the curse on that tree wasn't just about the demon trapped inside it. It was about the fear that had trapped the entire village. It was a fear that hid the truth, a truth that could only ever be brought into the light by the courage to question assumptions and to go looking for answers.
And that really leaves us with a final thought, doesn't it? The story of Ramgarh is so much more than a ghost story. It's a powerful metaphor. It kind of forces us to look around our own world and ask ourselves, what are the cursed trees we're afraid to approach? What long-held truths in our own lives are really just fears we haven't gotten around to challenging yet?